Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on what part of the planet you are on right now as watching this video. As you guys already seen, I already made a Yu-Gi deck, anime Yu-Gi deck. So now, without further ado, I will present the Kaiba anime deck. Now, like I mentioned with the video before, I made specifically these two decks here, to be competitive against one another. So I try to balance them as much as I could with the cards that I saw that were played on the anime. I used a couple of YouTube videos. It took me a long time to make these decks, especially to make them shiny. But hopefully with this video, you guys see that, you know, if you want to make an anime version of, your own Yu-Gi-Oh anime version, then here's a good reference to go with. I have tested these decks. They're pretty consistent, and they're pretty crazy too. All right, and with that said, let's begin with the 40 card deck version that plays off with the previous video. So first off, Obelisk the Tormentor. I love these original Egyptian god cards. Specifically, I love Slifer and Obelisk. Obelisk being like one of my favorites. Blue, you know, it's amazing. Love it. Blue double D better die. Haha, whatever. Yeah. Continue. Alright, Chaos Emperor Dragon. This card is busted, but Kaiba does play it. Yugi has Envoy of the beginning, so Kaiba gets an Envoy of the end. And now, we cannot have a Kaiba deck without not only one, but three original art Blue Eyes White Dragons. Now, this is the other reason why I wanted to make these decks. I have an original Dark Duel Stories. Clearly I was a kid, I did not take good care of it. This breaks my heart, but it is still alive, and I still have it. And I wanted to make a Kaiba deck with these three. I wish I had 2 more copies of this one, but I'm not paying 300 bucks, you know, to get this card, so these will have to do. And I just love how 3 blue eyes look together, just like in the anime. My goodness. Alright, so next up, the final tribute monster, at least on the 40 card deck version, Vampire Lord. I love this card. It was played on the Noah arc, and that's it. But I really like this card, especially how it looks. Then we have the, oh yeah, I did it with Yugi, so might as well do it here. So these are the tribute monsters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just like with the Yugi deck, 6 tribute monsters. At the 1 Egyptian God card, 1 Envoy at the beginning we're in, so Yugi gets that too. With Yugi, it would have been like Dark Magician Chaos, and Buster Blader, and then Dark Magician Girl. You know, that's like the cards that could fight off against each other. Alright, so now let's go to the 4-star cards, monsters. Slate Warrior. I mean, what to say, it's an excellent card. You can flip it, it gets 2400 attack points. If it's destroyed, the monster loses 500. This is 1900 beater. Why not? Now, following Kaiba's love for dragons, 2 Luster Dragons. I don't know where this was played, but a lot of YouTube videos say that he played it, so I'm playing it. I kind of wish he played Alexander Dragon, but you know, that would be too broken, so let's keep it at 1900 beaters. Horse Raider. Iconic Kaiba card. It's a dark monster, so it goes well with Envoy of the End. 2 Spear Dragons. I'm not sure if you only have one. One of the videos I saw was 2. I was like, you know what, then let's have 2. 1900 beater effect was played on the Noah arc. Excellent. Same thing with Kaiser Seahorse in the sense that it was played on the Noah arc, and this helps with the Blue Eyes engine, right, that we have. Blade Knight, excellent card, still played today on the GOAT format. You know, people still play GOAT formats. I see like there's decks that I sometimes either run at least 1 or 3 of these. It's an excellent card. It stops flip effects. If you have one card, it's 2000 the beater. It's also a light monster. I love it. TD Warrior Later, fantastic card. Yeah, I went with the Speed Duel version. I don't like this. Ow. But, you know, the other one was ultra rare. I wanted this to be as shiny as possible, so there was a secret rare version, so I'm going with the secret rare version. Here we have Cyber Jar. I wasn't even aware there was like an ultra rare version of this card, so this is great. Oh, there's a piece of, ew, gross. I'm gonna have to do another video. Alright, so Cyber Jar, what to say, you know. Yugi has Morphing Jar, Kaiba has Cyber Jar. Yugi did use Cyber Jar. That's too overpowered. It was a Kaiba's deck, so Kaiba has, you know, Cyber Jar. Then we have Wall of Illusion. It's a great target for Envoy of the End, and also for Crush card. 1000 attack points, and I mean, it doesn't have to be Fiend, but yeah, it's dark and 1000. The same thing with Giant Germ. You know, these little fellows can hit your opponent's life points, bring the other 2 out, and it's also a 1000 attack, so it works well with either Envoy or Crush card. Now to go with the magic cards. I play this as in the anime, and because Yugi has Card of Sanctity, I just say draw until you have 5 cards. You know, I don't even do the whole like you discard your hands on the 5th turn, just draw until you have 5 cards. Yugi gets to draw 6, why not? Yeah. Graceful Charity, Pot of Greed, Dark Hole, Heavy Storm, Monster Reborn, Fan of Critias. As you see, these magic cards mirror kind of like the ones that Yugi had. Kaiba does not have Dark Hole, he has Dark Core, but let's be honest, like that's too broken. Yugi has a wipe war card, Kaiba only has like a, well, you banish one? No, Kaiba also gets a Dark Hole. Now I changed Polymerization for Fusion Gate. Kaiba does not play Fusion Gate, but the next card will show you why I made this decision. Dimension Fusion. Anyone who knows Yu-Gi-Oh! Knows that this card is devastating. You can bring as many as your out-of-play monsters as you can. I think your opponent can also bring them. Yeah, both players. So this is excellent for either fusioning, so that's why when you start fusion, you banish them, and you also have Chaos Emperor Dragon. You only have one Chaos Emperor Dragon. So to make this card more useful and effective in the deck. Soul Exchange, excellent for tributing, in a sense, Change of Heart is a lot stronger, but Kaiba doesn't have it. I'm bending the rules a little bit with Dark Hole and Fusion Gate, but I don't want to bend it too much. Enemy Controller, excellent card as well. You can take control of an opponent's monster. You can even, there's one card that you'll see in the side deck that is good, like to destroy. You'll see what I mean. Silent Doom, basically bringing back a Blue Eyes in defense position. Or any normal monster, but yeah, you usually want to go for Blue Eyes. And Cost Down to help you get all those tribute monsters, out of the field easier, particularly Blue Eyes. Or just normal summon a Vampire Lord. Now for the trap cards, I was not aware that Kaiba does not own a Mirror Force, or doesn't have it on his deck. Why? I don't know. But he runs Mirror Force Dragons. I'm like, nah man, you gotta have a Mirror Force. Iconic card, negate attack, Shadow Spell, and the legendary Crush card. This card is amazing, it's legendary. I found like an ultra kind of mirror version of it. I love the alternate art. I'm just sad that it's so dark, can't see it. And this is the original text. I kind of like the original text more because it's kind of like in the show where like every time you draw a card, like you're feeling the effect more. But you can play it with I just like old effects more. Like just, Konami, what are you doing? Like just make new variants of the card. Why are you destroying the old cards? Alright, we continue. Ring of Destruction, Interdimensional Matter Transport, and lastly, Tyrant Wing, only because we have Tyrant Wing Dragon. Now, let's go to the Fusion deck, and of course, how can we have a Kaiba deck without Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon? There it is. Beautiful, secret rare. Then we have, Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. And when I was building this deck, this card didn't exist. It actually came out as I was finishing this deck, so I just had to buy it. Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon, love it. Tyrant Burst Dragon, Mirror Force Dragon. This card is actually very dangerous. Like if you're Yugi and you're playing against it, it's very dangerous. It's kind of hard. Only some cards can get rid of it because of its effect, but that I'll leave it up to, just leave it up to whenever you want to play and how you want to play it. Destruction Dragon, Doom Virus Dragon, and lastly, Twin-Headed Thunder Dragon. Now, you're saying, Ivan, I did not see Thunder Dragon. Well, that's only because I balanced the decks. Originally, this 40 deck version had the Thunder Dragon, but don't worry. As you know, Kaiba is Yugi's rival, so these are not all the cards he has. I was trying to balance them, but that's not enough. I want more, like Anakin Skywalker. So here we go to the 15 card at the card side deck. Now we have Blue Eyes Alternative White Dragon, and now this is the card I was talking about in the last video, that this goes against Yugi's Mahad whatever thing. Excellent card. You use Cirilla Blue Eyes, you summon it, destroys the monster. You can even use it for fusions. You'll see what I mean at the end. Excellent card. And here we go. The Incredible Thunder Dragons. Love these cards. They're light monsters, and you can pick them out of the deck, and you can even use them as fodder if you don't have polymerization or whatever. Excellent card. Now, originally I did not have Kaiser Voice Raider in the deck. I had Kaiser Dragon that I love. I still love it, but this one is a Dark Monster, okay? And it's also it could be special summoned like the Tricky. So I was like, nah, man, I gotta put this card then. And it's also a card from Dark Side of the Dimension. So here we go. Another good card, Assault Wyvern. It is a light monster. It is a dragon, 1800 beater. If you destroy a monster with this card, you can special summon, right? Special summon one dragon type monster from your hand or graveyard except Assault Wyvern. Blue Eyes, of course. Alright, continue. Lord of Dragon. Had to put this card on the deck. Used it so many times with an amazing, Pluto Summoning Dragon combo. It's hard to pull, but it's fun, but when you do it, it's very fun. And then lastly, this was the card, that when you use enemy controller, you can sacrifice it, use enemy controller, you do all your things, and then bam, at the end you get a Blue Eyes. And it's also a tuner, so it's gonna work well with the remaining extra deck monsters. The Flute of Summoning Dragon, secret rare. Fiend Sanctuary. Now, Kaiba gives Yugi this card, but the one who found it was Kaiba, so you know what? It's going here. Megamorph. Originally, I had Lullaby of Obedience, and don't get me wrong, I love Lullaby of Obedience. However, it requires 2,000 life points. Sometimes Yugi has the card, sometimes he doesn't. It could be a dead draw. It could be a fantastic thing, or it could be a dead draw. Megamorph, I feel like if you're in the losing end, you can summon a level 4, double its attack, and just run over whatever you need. So Megamorph it is. And Yugi has Mage Power, so I wanted an equip card with Kaiba. This is the last of the meta cards. Shrink. I love the things that Kaiba does with this card. I love Shrink. I didn't know it was an ultra rare until the Kaiba collection or whatever it's called. So here we go, Shrink, which is also good, like pulling off a Voice Raider Shrink Crush card combo or whatever. It's anime, man. What more do you want? Now with the trap cards, I had trouble with Kaiba. So as you're already suspecting, Yugi has Eternal Soul, Kaiba has True Light. Now these last two trap cards, they're not terrible, but they're not the best either. I mean, well, this one's kind of okay. I pulled some crazy stuff with this card. However, the cards that I would have had here would have been, I forgot the name, the Magical Trick Mirror, which is fantastic. That card is amazing. I wish I could buy that card, but again, it's like $80. I'm not wasting $80 on a card. Konami, stop it. Can't even buy a house, let alone a card now, apparently. And it used to be backwards. So yeah, this should have been Magical Trick Mirror, but because I can't afford it, I went with Countergate. It's good. It basically negates an attack. You get to draw a card. If it's a blue eyes, you get to summon it. It's it's kind of like good, semi-good, And then lastly, this should have been Attack Guidance Armor. Another great card. It's basically a widespread ruin. Again, $70. I'm not wasting that amount of money, so I went with Cloning. Which by the way, it's a token, and if you get I think it's a Dark Monster, right? Or so he just copies the original attribute. Okay, so if Yugi summons Sangan, you activate Cloning and have Crush card, you can do it. And now the remainder of the extra deck. We have 5-headed dragon. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, I've never summoned this card, and I like the alternate art, so here we go. Alright, I just keep it here. Blue Eyes Alternative Ultimate Dragon. This is the absolute best Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon card variant. But it's not the anime, so I put it outside, like here with a side deck. Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. Blue Eyes Twin Burst Dragon. This card is amazing. You don't require polymerization to do it, and it can really help you, especially in these anime duels. First of the dragons. There's a ton of normal monsters in this deck, so why not? And you have Fusion Gate. Blue Eye Spirit Dragon. This is why I required a tuner, and a darn good one. And Azure Eye Silver Dragon. Lastly, we have Thunder End Dragon. And that is it for my Kaiba anime deck. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said with the Yugi deck, this is just like a template. You can make your own version, get an idea, of the cards. But if you just wanted some decks because Konami has never given us something like this, like an exact, like card for card, best cards that Kaiba and Yugi use that you can just pull out of the deck and just start dueling. They were close with the Legendary Collection, deck collections too. But it didn't satisfy me because Yugi used Exodia, and that took 30 turns, and then Yugi just wanted to use like summon Exodia, So So I decided to make these decks. Yugi deck without Exodia, and a Kaiba deck with like all like my favorite anime cards that I could think of that it did not exceed 55 cards. So you can keep the 40 deck version, you can make your own 40 deck version with other cards you buy, or the cards in the side deck, or you can make a 55 deck variant. And oh, let me put, hang on. So you can get it all in one frame. Let me put Blue Eyes Alternative White Dragon. And voila, that is it. That is my Kaiba deck. Thank you all for watching. Typical YouTube thing, like, comment, subscribe. Not really the biggest interest. My main goal was to, if I worked really hard to get this, you know, available, then I hope someone else, I hope I made someone's job a lot easier. And yeah, thank you all for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.